Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brian Jamaldeen, and my partner is Miran Sampson. We will be continuing from the last session, which is our topic cybersecurity. So our objectives for today's lesson is understand what is meant by cybersecurity, the different types of cybersecurity, describe how each types work and the risks they pose, distinguish between data protection and privacy, identify key characteristics of data protection and privacy, and lastly, understand methods for data protection or protecting of data. So now I'll hand you over to Miran.
To begin our lesson, we are going to be looking at a short video on what cybersecurity is.
The internet is like a web that connects millions of computers worldwide. With the internet, it's possible to access almost any information, communicate with anyone else in the world, and do much more. You can do all of this by connecting a computer, tablet, or phone to the internet. A phone connected to the internet is like the world at your fingertips. The internet can be a fun place, but at the same time, it can be a dangerous place to be in if you are not careful. Internet thieves, who are also known as cyber criminals, can break into your computer and steal your personal data. Now, let's learn about staying safe on the internet. Tip number 1. Do not open emails from strangers. Email is a message that is sent and received using computers. It is an important form of fast communication that allows people to contact one another and share information all over the world. But you must be very careful when you open an email from strangers. Some emails can contain computer viruses that can infect your computer and wipe the entire data from your computer. Always check with an adult before opening emails from strangers. Tip number 2. You never share your password with others. Password is a secret word or phrase that a person must know to be allowed to enter a computer system. You should always try to use longer password. Password must always be a secret. In the digital world, the bad guys are called cyber criminals. If they can figure out a person's password, they can access their private information using that password. Now, let me ask you something. Do you share your toothbrush with others? No, correct? Passwords are like your toothbrush. You never share your password with others. You can share chocolate, but not your password. Tip number 3. Beware of fake or misleading information. Please be aware that things that you read online are not always true, so you must check the information with a parent or teacher. Tip number 4. Keep your private information safe. Privacy is very important. Do not share your personal information on the internet. Do not share the information such as your name, phone number, address, email, school name, your parents' work address, telephone numbers, credit card information, your pictures, your passwords on the internet. Always ask your parents' permission before doing so. Tip number 5. Limit your screen time online. You should always limit your screen time. There is time for screens, but not at the expense of time for physical activities. Internet can be very addictive, and being on internet all the time can create other problems such as obesity, insufficient sleep, etc.
Okay, so the video was basically a short summary of everything we're going to look at in this lesson. Like the video said, cybersecurity is basically a type of security that protects everything you do or everything you do on the internet. The cyber world is the internet, and we're protecting our vulnerable data from people with bad intentions who are called cyber criminals. So here I have a definition for cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is the practice of protecting computers, networks, and data from attack, theft, and damage. With the risk of technology, it is important to understand the different types of cybersecurity threats and how to protect yourself online. So here we have some types of cybersecurity. It's important to know the different ways in which you could protect yourself online because it's a very big world or a big connection, and we need to know ways in which we could protect ourselves when in danger. First one, we have network security. This protects your network from unauthorized access or accesses. We have information security. This keeps sensitive data safe using tools like encryption. Application security. This secures software from bugs and vulnerabilities. What's the next one? We have end user security. This protects you from common threats like phishing and malware. Operational security. This focuses on securing day-to-day business activities. Distributor recovery and business continuity. This is a plan for recovering data and system after a cyber attack. And then lastly, we have cloud security. This protects data stored on cloud from unauthorized users or access. So here we have some common cybersecurity threats. There are quite a few cybersecurity attacks from unknown users. These cybersecurity threats are, we listed four. We have phishing, malware, ransomware, social engineering. So phishing is the use of fake emails or websites trying to steal your personal information. So a cyber criminal would use these, if they get a hold of your email, they would send you an email with a prompt to open this or saying that you won something. And when you open it, they could gain access into your device and see further steal your information. Malware, this is a harmful software that damages your device or steals your data. You have ransomware, software that locks your files until you pay. Criminals could also use this, if they ever get a hold of your password, they could lock you out and demand you pay a certain amount of money to gain access to your software. Then we have social engineering. This is manipulating people into giving up confidential information. This is a very big one. A lot of people would use that you won some amount of money or they have a promotion, and they would message you on WhatsApp and they would tell you that you won this and you have to give up this information, that information. And some people would fall for it, mostly the elder people that don't know about cybersecurity and cybersecurity threats. And this is why it's important to learn about these things. And here we have a video on common cybersecurity threats to see them in action and to further describe them in detail.
Computer security threats. Computer security is the protection of information and valuable data against unauthorized users' access, hacker attacks, data corruption by harmful software, and theft. Computer security threats are virus, worms, adware, and hacker virus. Virus is a malicious program that has the ability to attach itself with any other program and make changes in the code of its host, which may alter its working altogether. As a result, the modified program cannot function properly. A virus can harm the computer in the following ways. 1. It destroys the hard disk. The virus destroys the data stored in the hard disk by either formatting it without warning or by destroying some of its parts. Second, the virus affects the boot sector. It can change the boot sector of the hard disk. If the boot sector of a disk is affected, after which the computer cannot boot. Third, it slows the processing speed of the computer. The computer viruses are automatically loaded into the main memory of the computer and remain in the memory. This slows down the processing speed of the computer. 4. It destroys the BIOS. A virus can destroy BIOS of the computer. This affects the startup process of the computer. Worms. Worm is a self-replicating program and does not require a host program. The worm creates a copy of it and causes it to execute. No user interference is required. Worms are named for the way they move from computer to computer using networks. This action gives many worms a high speed in spreading themselves. A worm can harm the computer in the following ways. It reduces the working of computer. By copying itself many times, it reduces the disk space. Adware. Adware is an advertising supported software which automatically displays and downloads advertisements to a computer when users are connected to the internet. These advertisements can be a pop-up. The objective of the adware is to generate revenue for its developer. Adware by itself is harmless, but some adware may also come with integrated spyware, which can have negative impacts. A spyware is a software that gathers information about a particular user or organization without their knowledge. Hacker. Hackers are programmers who use their expertise for malicious purpose. The term notorious hackers, sometimes called crackers, refer to those who break into computers without authorization. The hacking problem is widespread and serious. They get access to services without paying for them. They steal information for crime purposes. Hacker gets unauthorized access to data and system and damages it. How threats like viruses, worms, and adware are spread. Through infected flash drives or USBs, through email attachments, surfing insecure websites, installing pirated software. Question time.
Okay, so the video went into detail explaining how some threats would work. Although the video said computer security, it could also be used or applied to cybersecurity because we use our computer to access the internet and therefore it makes us a part of cybersecurity. The video listed worms and viruses. Now, these types of threats, a person, a hacker, or a cyber criminal could create these things and they could send them to fake emails or ads. And if you click on them, then your whole system or your computer, whatever you're using, could become infected. The video also stated adware and spyware. These are all tools that hackers or cyber criminals could use to get your information or to cause harm to you on the internet. So ways in which they could do this, they could send an email, or if you use an infected flash drive, this is why you shouldn't put all flash drives into your computer, especially if you have important information on there, because people could steal your information or corrupt your system with just inserting a flash drive that is infected into your system. Now moving on.
To secure.
Now that we know the threats and how they work and so on, we now need to look at protective measures because we're looking at cybersecurity and it's basically how we could protect our data from attacks. So we could use a strong password and a multi-factor attenuation. We could be careful about clicking links or opening attachments in email. This can help prevent phishing attacks. People would use the fake emails to get you to click on it to steal your information. You could also keep your software up to date to prevent security holes, and regular backup is important to prevent files, to prevent data loss. So now that we understand what cybersecurity is. We know the different types of cybersecurity. We know the threats. We know how to protect ourselves. Let's answer some questions to test our knowledge. So I'm going to read the questions and Sir is going to give the answer. Okay. So what is a malware? A type of antivirus software. B, malicious software designed to harm system. C, a form of firewall. So what is the answer?
Miss B.
B,
Yes.
and that is correct. A malware is a type of malicious software designed to harm systems. So a malware would be considered a cyber threat. Next question. What is the purpose of encryption? To increase internet speed, to protect data from unauthorized access, or to prevent spam emails.
B again.
B,
Yes, B
and
again.
that is encryption is used to protect data from unauthorized access. So an encryption would be a way of securing your data. So it would be a cybersecurity. Number 3, which of the following is a good practice to avoid phishing attack? Open all email attachments, clicking on links from unknown sources, verifying the sender and website before clicking links.
C, Miss.
See?
Mm-hmm.
Which of the following is a good practice? Okay. Yes. So verifying the sender and website before clicking link is a way to avoid phishing attacks because phishing they would use fake emails and fake websites to get you to click on them to steal your information. So this would fall under the category of ways to protect yourself. So this would be a cybersecurity. Last question. What does a VPN do? It speeds up your internet connection. It encrypts your internet connection for secure browsing. It blocks all malware attacks.
B again.
V, so VPN, it encrypts your internet connections for secure browsing. So this would be a protective measure also. Last question. What should you do if you receive a suspicious email? Open it and check the attachment, ignore it and delete it. Click on the links to verify the sender.
B.
Ignore it and delete it. And that is correct. If you receive a suspicious email or spam email, do not open it and check it out, see what you win or whatever, because most of the time, cyber hackers or cyber criminals would use this method to lure people into clicking into the email, and the email probably have some virus attached to it that could steal all your information. So this would be a way in which you could protect yourself. Moving on. Now we have Sir Brian. He's going to Lane, data protection and privacy.
All right, thanks, Ms. Maran. Now we have a video on data protection and privacy.
In the digital economy, data is of strategic importance. With social, economic, and governmental activities increasingly carried out online, the flow of personal data is expanding fast, raising issues related to storage and use. Current technologies, cloud services, the Internet of Things, and big data, as well as future technological innovations and increased connectivity through 5G networks, can deliver enormous benefits. But they also make it more urgent to address various concerns over data and privacy. The challenge for data protection regimes is in managing the risks and addressing the concerns without restricting or eliminating the potential benefits. The role of governments and the industry in protecting online data is of paramount importance. It must be done with a great deal of trust and confidence. This requires collaboration across stakeholders and geographies. Cross-border e-commerce presents developing countries with amazing opportunities, but those countries that want to participate in the digital economy must consider the need for legal and regulatory frameworks to protect the personal data they collect. According to the UNCTAD Global Cyber Law Tracker, around 60 developing countries do not have current baseline protection laws in place, and another 35 only have draft legislation. The United Nations Conference on Trade and Development is happy to offer a platform for discussion on a vitally important subject. As industry players and consumers, as well as governments and international organizations, you will have the opportunity to present your perspectives, outline recent developments, current practices, and consider relevant frameworks. We will discuss how various challenges, including compliance, localization, and interoperability, as well as opportunities related to data protection and privacy, affect the potential for cross-border trade, especially in the context of developing countries. So let's start the dialogue. Where do we go from here? What are realistic solutions? What can we do to address concerns of various stakeholders while at the same time avoiding stifling trade and innovation? How can we make sure developing countries take full part in this global discussion?
All right. So before we move on to today's content, I would like to ask, well, let's put it in a scenario. So imagine yourself losing your phone with your bank account in it. What would happen if someone else has gained access to it without someone's permission? Ms. Miran, would you like to assist?
Okay, so if you lose your phone with your bank account information in it,
Well, basically, you could steal your identity and lose your money if that's what you're looking for. All right, so this is where data protection and privacy come in. So data protection are tools and policies that are set in place to restrict the usage of data, whereas privacy refers to all the individuals who has access to data. In any case, both are needed to ensure data are secure. All right, so let's put data protection in an example. So your school has a system where teachers and HOD, sorry, can access mainly some students' grade. So with data protection, this serves as a measure only certain amount of people can access sensitive information. While for the privacy is somewhat similar, but it keeps your data confidential without ensuring someone can use it for other purposes. Next, it has characteristics. The first one is data protection addresses policy, while privacy address mechanism. The next one is privacy plays a big role in keeping your data confidential from others. And lastly, data protection controls the number of users using the data. So I know this may be a little confusing. So to sum everything up there, data protection or the characteristics are basically ways like to secure your data and ensure it can be used responsibly before anyone can gain access of your personal data. All right, moving on the methods for the protection of data. The first one is back up your data. So it basically says that your data should be backed up regularly on a hard drive or either using your phone, like for example, WhatsApp. The next one is use strong password and multi-factor authentications. So um imagine if you think it's no, sorry for that. Some a person might use simple password like 1, 2, 3, and 4. People can easily infiltrate that. So try to include letters, numbers, and symbols in your password to make it more perfect rather than using a simple one. Next one, be aware of your surroundings. So you should always be cautious when accessing your personal data in public spaces because there might be other people who like to eavesdrop on your stuff. Next is be on your guard for suspicious email. I think Miss Miran has mentioned something earlier about that there might be person send you email about you win a gadget or something. So be on your guard when it's email like that are coming in. Next is install antivirus and malware protection. So this basically means that you should have updated your antivirus or download a software in your computer or smartphone to protect it from um bad bad viruses or other things that can cause damage to your system. Next is protect your device when it is unattended. Like this is pretty straightforward. It means that always keep your screen locked, especially in open spaces. Next is ensure secure Wi-Fi connections. I would advise that you should avoid using your Wi-Fi um in like personal no in open spaces because there might be hackers that can actually what the word crack your password like the one password I mentioned earlier 1, 2, 3, 4. So be careful when they're out there. Next one, well, the final one is limit the access to other users of other users. Sorry. Um, you should avoid showing others your personal stuff or when you're doing a certain work and they need your personal information or your account. All right, now we'll have a video showing why data should be protected.
Not that!
Look, Finn! Pug is having a scary dream! Hey, Pug! Wake up!
Finn, I had a horrible nightmare. Somebody stole your online identity, your personal information, your photos, your logins, and even took all the money from your mum's credit card.
Mum's money? How?
Through your gaming account. She gave you her credit card access, remember?
That's really scary. Lucky it was just a dream.
Sure, but it could happen for real if you don't protect your personal information with a strong password.
I have one. One password for everything? It's awesome.
What? You use your favorite word, awesome, as your password? No!
Oh, so what should I do? Start with a strong password made from different parts, like
Pizza. First, think of a good phrase. That's the pizza base. Second, add some numbers and characters.
aha, those are like my pizza toppings.
Exactly. Then, make a different password for each account.
Use words others won't guess, but you will remember. And don't write your passwords down. You mean only keep them in my head? Okay, I can do that.
Great. It will protect all of us from many nightmares. Also,
What?
always check with your parents before you sign up with any new websites. Promise?
Promise.
Shake on it?
Yes, shake on it.
All right. So as Fox said, you should always have a strong password before identity to be stolen. All right. Now moving on. All right. Now I have some fill in the blank questions in which Miss Maron will assist me. So the portion is something is a practice of protecting computers, networks, and data from attacks, theft, and damage.
Cybersecurity.
Correctness. So cybersecurity, sorry, is a practice of protecting computers, networks, and data from attacks, theft, and damage. So basically, cybersecurity help to prevent hackers and other threats from harming your digital information. Next is something security protects your network from unauthorized access or attacks.
Network security.
Correct again. So network security protects your network from unauthorized access or attacks. So this basically ensures that only authorized personnel can use your network, and it also serves as a protection from hackers. The next question is a fake email or a website that tries to steal your personal information is called
Phishing attacks. Phishing.
correct again. So a fake email or a website that tries to steal your personal information is called phishing. So phishing is basically when an individual tricks you from revealing your personal information or also sensitive like your password or account, Facebook account or other account. Uh, Next question is one way to protect your data is to use strong passwords and something authentications.
Multi-factor authentications.
Correct agreement. So one way to protect your data is to use strong passwords and multi-factor authentication. So multi-factor authentication or MFA is like an extra or additional security that has been added on to your um, account or other apps or whatever that provides security in a form of verification. Like like for example, the Facebook account, you'll see there's a two-factor authentication in which you will receive a code in less than a minute, I think. Next question is installing something software helps prevent harmful programs like malware and ransomware from damaging your device.
Installing antivirus software.
Correct again. So installing antivirus software helps prevent harmful programs like malware or ransomware from damaging your device. So antivirus is like a software that helps to detect and also to remove harmful programs or bad programs that can steal your information. wrap up on everything said today?
Let's recap our objectives. Back to the objectives. So today we learned what is meant by cybersecurity, and we learned that cybersecurity is basically protecting everything you do on the internet, a way of securing your activities on the internet. We also learned the different types of cybersecurity. There are 7 of them, and each serve a particular purpose or is used to protect from a particular threat. We also discussed the types. Well, we basically went into a short description of the types and what they do and the risks they pose. So the risks they pose would be like, what would they protect against? Let's say phishing, for example, using strong password would not using a strong password, sorry, but double checking your email before you click it. That would be a way in which you could eliminate that risk. We also distinguish between data protect data protection and privacy. You know what data protection is, how you could protect your data to upkeep your privacy. We also identified, well, Sir identified key factors of data protection and privacy, which is, Sir, if you could just add.
So to add on what Miss said, Artemis, I'll take over this part. So start to
Okay.
distinguish between data protection and privacy. We looked at how data protection secure data from unauthorized access. We look at how privacy control who can access your data. We discussed on the methods of how data should be protected, like the one I mentioned, or using a strong password or installing an antivirus software, or even backing up your data. So with that said, I would like to thank everyone for your undivided attention, and I wish you all the best. Bye.
And that brings us to the end of our lesson.